I'm serious when I said I thought jalapenos were in some sort of season. Everywhere I went, the jalapenos, I mean, normally they're, little jalapenos, but these things were actually good size, which is awesome if you're getting ready to do some stuffing, just do some shopping. But let's talk about this for a second. You want a bite, but you don't want this thing that's going to bring tears to the eyes of everybody. So you've got to take some time, a little due diligence here. Cut the top off and you get all of the pith, that's the white on the inside, and by all means make sure you get all of the seeds. If you have some tender tongue people that may be coming around, you can also blanch these. I blanched them for about 30 seconds. It does take some of the oil out, which is the sting, the capsaicin, but it still leaves you with a nice amount of residual heat. So as you, consume these, you realize I'm eating jalapeno. And this is how easy they go together. Just like any other stuffed jalapeno, the difference is I wanted something hearty. So I've got some pre-cooked brown rice. Brown rice, as you know, takes a little bit longer than white rice to cook, and this is the whole grain, so it had the husk and everything on it, so you're getting some fiber out of it as well. Speaking of fiber, we're going to add in canned black beans. The black beans here, if you've cooked some the night before and you have some leftovers, you can add those. Just make sure you rinse them because they have that liquid that they're soaking in while they're still in the can, and when you would dump them in, it makes this really gloopy. And something else you want to add, those are just diced tomatoes. And on top of that, what would a jalapeno popper be without cheese? And you can add any cheese you want. We just happen to add a really sharp, extra sharp as a matter of fact, cheddar. And we're going to pull this together, make ourselves a little stuffing mix. And something that you want to do here, and I know it's going to sound weird, when you're seasoning it for salt and pepper, you actually want to over-season it a little bit. So that means that when you taste it, you're like, ooh, that's a little salty. That's what you want, because when it goes into this and then it's grilled, the liquid from the jalapeno kind of washes some of that salt away, and you'll end up with a real bland inside and a spicy pepper. Not a good mix. So over salt it just a little bit, over pepper it just a little bit, and you'll be good to go. The easiest way to stuff these, you can try the spoon method and all that. I'm going to tell you, the easiest is just to use your fingers, but here's a little secret. Start off with a small amount first, and when I mean small, just whatever you put on your fingertips, and put that in, and then take your fingers and push it all the way down to the bottom, because if not, and you just start stuffing it in, the air builds up, you get a little pressure, and you end up with a weird little void. You end up with a piece that doesn't have the heartiness, the goodness inside. So if you get it stuffed at the bottom and then work your way up every time you push in, you know that you're getting one big, well-stuffed, hearty, delicious, cheesy, beany, ricey goodness jalapeno popper. After you're done stuffing your jalapenos, make sure you wash your hands. After you take the seeds out of the jalapenos, make sure you wash your hands. After you get the jalapenos blanched, removed from the hot water and back into whatever you're going to let them cool, if you've touched the jalapenos, wash your hands. That's a reminder. All right, now with the foil, we're going to take them to the grill. These things would be a nightmare to try to grill individually. Aluminum foil has two sides. Non-reflective side, shiny side. Dull side, shiny side. You want the dull side to be facing down. We want the heat to go to this, otherwise the silver, the shiny side, reflects some of the heat. The jalapenos go right in between, and we're going to add just a little bit of olive oil. You don't have to get the fancy stuff, just regular olive oil here. That's just to ensure that they're not going to stick. And then we're going to make ourselves a little flavor packet. Fold it over, crimp it again. Spin it, fold it over, crimp it again. See what we did? We just made a pouch. One more time, and this is good to go onto the grill over the direct heat. About 15 minutes tops. If it's really hot, like you're cooking big fat steak hot, you'll set this off just to the side, but you want it to get as close to the direct heat as you can so you get a good caramelization on the skin. Or if you're inside of a kitchen, you can do them too, 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Matter of fact, I think these other ones down here may be done. You'll tell that the bag is still puffy, and another thing, when you put these on the heat because of the olive oil, you'll also hear a lot of searing. When you hear that the searing has come to an end, you know that you're getting close to being done. Careful, because they are pretty steamy on the inside, and you don't want to let them get you. So what you end up with is something like a roasted pepper. If you've ever stuffed pepper, whether it's with quinoa or rice mix or even a meat mix, they come out like that, but because you blanched them, they still have a nice crunch to them, like a jalapeno popper. They still have some bite, and they look great on a plate, but they taste even better. If you wrap your package up nice and tight, when you turn it over, you can actually get that charring. You see where it's got the nice caramelization here. You can get that on both sides. Gives it that little bit, not only of that smoky flavor, but it helps to also give it a little bit more of a crunch on the outside. Remember, these were blanched. We cleaned them all the way out from the pith and seeds. and then we stuffed it with black bean, the brown rice, the diced tomatoes, as well as some cheese. It's a stuffed jalapeno after all, and we're out there for tailgate time, and cheese is good on everything, including these. Matter of fact, I think that if you get out there and you find yourself some of these colossal jalapenos, put the stuffing in them, add some cheese to your liking, you two will be saying, when it comes to a game time bite, a kick, we'll call it, a SCOBY style kick, there is none better.